Welcome to Football Scientific. I'm Aaron Sauter, the professor of football. I'm here to break down everything that happened this weekend in the non-NFL world of professional football, meaning the CFL, the UFL, and the IFL. The biggest event of those outcomes were in the CFL with the Grey Cup championship game. So we're going to kick off with that, talk a little bit about the IFL and a little bit about the UFL. Really isn't that much news to talk about other than the Grey Cup. So I'm just going to talk about that. We'll come back tomorrow with a full NFL breakdown of Week 11. I'm working on that breakdown right now statistically, so we'll see how it goes. There will be an article on footballanalysis1.com about one crucial stat for every NFL team this week in Week 11. That'll come out early tomorrow. And then there will be our power rankings for the NFL coming out on footballanalysis1.com. That'll come out before Thursday's games start. Okay, let's see when that ends. You know, pretty quick turnaround time for Week 12. Boom. So I'm joined with my guest host, Tired of Tiger. Tired of Tiger here, ready to go. Trying to talk about the Grey Cup championship game and changes to the IFL and UFL. All very important. Not the NFL. That's tomorrow, though. Oh, that's tomorrow. Right? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, tomorrow. Okay, all right, here we go. So first, in the Grey Cup championship game, the Super Bowl of Canada, okay, with MGK, Machine Gun Kelly as our halftime show. Well, that's pretty good. CFL usually a pretty good halftime show, guys. In the Grey Cup, we had the Saskatchewan Roughriders and the Montreal Alouettes playing Winnipeg, man. Montreal jumped out early. They jumped out early, had 7 points. Saskatchewan only had 1 point off of Rouge. It was 7-1 at the end of the first quarter. I was thinking to myself, man, the Montreal's about to win this game. Davis Alexander's going to keep being undefeated in the CFL. So what happened next? Well, Trevor Harris from the Saskatchewan Roughriders caught fire. Not literally. He just started completing passes. And he had 302 passing yards for no touchdowns, no interceptions. Not a big day, but enough to keep the ball moving, keep drives alive. In the running game, the Rough Riders did run for 93 yards. A.J. Ouellette ran for 83 of those 93 yards and had 1 touchdown. And then Tommy Stevens, their short yardage quarterback, he had 10 yards rushing on 4 carries and 2 touchdowns. That's 3 rushing touchdowns. That's a pretty good day, man. Pretty good day. 93 rushing yards. Not the best I've seen from Saskatchewan. They have usually a very good offensive line, good running game, but Montreal is the best defensive line in the East, so it's not surprising that they struggled to run the ball, honestly. Montreal came in, 284 passing yards, 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions by Davis Alexander, man. They just kept that guy contained, let him throw the ball. And I've been saying that's the way to beat him, man. Don't let him beat it with your legs. Make sure he throws the ball. He'll throw interceptions, and he did. 3 of them, and no touchdowns, man. The Alouettes did win the running game there. They had 105 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 fumble. Out, a fumble's going to hurt a lot when their team didn't turn the ball over at all, man. That's key. Spoiler alert. Stevie Scott III had 78 rushing yards. Shea Patterson, their short yardage quarterback, had 5 rushing attempts, 8 yards, and 1 touchdown. Neither team had any sacks, okay? So what happened in this thing? Well, Alouettes came in and turned the ball over, man, 4 times. They should have been blown out by Saskatchewan. But the Montreal Alouettes D-line was pretty solid, man, and kept that Saskatchewan Roughriders offense under control. What was the final outcome? Saskatchewan wins 25-17 and win their first Grey Cup since 2013. Should have been Hamilton. But they've invested well in their offensive defensive line. It paid off, man. Hint, 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 Hamilton. Okay, boom, in the IFL. Major change in the IFL. Massachusetts Pirates have relocated to Orlando, Florida. They're not Orlando Pirates, which makes way more sense, man, because you may not be closer to the water. You know, Orlando's not really close to the beach. They're a couple hours away from the beach in all directions. But you got Disney and you got the Pirates of the Caribbean, so it makes sense for Orlando to have some pirates, man. I've never heard any pirates in Massachusetts. They're in the Caribbean. They never went to Massachusetts. Never heard pirates of the Massachusetts. Boom. There's Pirates of the Caribbean, though, and Orlando's going to be there. They're keeping the same colors. I like the teal. It's pretty good looking, man. Boom. Also, the IFL this weekend released their full schedule for 2025. There's a lot to unpack there. I haven't looked at the whole thing yet, though, but there are 2 newish names on that schedule. In the West, you got the New Mexico Chupacabras, which is fun to say. Chupacabras are red and they're like mustard and ketchup, of course. But I'm not going to hold that against them. It's a cool name, and it's better than what they had there. I think Duke City Gladiators or something. Those. I'd rather be the Chupacabras too, man. And then in the East, Orlando is Massachusetts Pirates and not Orlando Pirates. Okay. Otherwise, the schedule's pretty straight up. A lot of twists and turns like the IFL should have, man. UFL. They have mentioned Mike Rapole, their official spokesperson now, has said, hey, new head coaches will be released in December. So we're going to say who their new head coaches are for like Orlando and Louisville and Columbus and probably some other teams, man. I think they're redoing the whole league structure type situation with coaching staff. Stuff like Anthony Becht and Skip Holtz will probably still have a job, man. Everyone else is going to be changed up, most likely. Boom. Also, he said in December and January, you're going to get some new news about their uniforms, about their rosters, like which roster became which out of those relocated teams. I've seen Michigan and I've seen San Antonio for Orlando. I'm covering Orlando. If it's San Antonio, that's easy for me. I've been covering San Antonio, although last season wasn't very fun, but whatever. And then if it's the Panthers roster, that's a much better team. They're a much better team. So we'll see what happens there. Really no loser for Orlando, man. December and January, you're going to be seeing all that stuff. And then they're basically saying there's going to be a 45-man roster instead of 40-man roster. It gives you more depth and it gives you more players opportunity, which is nice to see. That is the world of non-NFL football. It was short. We had the CFL Grey Cup. Saskatchewan's the Grey Cup champions. First time in 2013 with the IFL making the release of their schedule and the Massachusetts Pirates got Orlando Pirates. And then we got the UFL. We're going to get some coaches, uniforms, and rosters figured out here in the next couple of months or weeks or whatever it's going to be, man. Probably months, I guess. I'll give them benefit of the months. So that is the news for today on non-football stuff, NFL stuff. We're going to have an NFL show tomorrow after tonight's Monday Night Football game between the Dallas Cowboys and Las Vegas Raiders. Should be a burner or something like that. All right, that is Football Scientific for today. The portal is now closed. Boop.